Even a trip across the Atlantic to the United Kingdom couldn't keep Donald Trump from stirring up political drama. The former president, never one to shy away from controversy, made headlines before he even touched down, with reporters and cameras tracking his every move through the streets of London. During his visit, Trump took to his favorite platform, Truth Social, to unleash a new barrage of accusations. This time, he demanded prosecution, not just of his usual political rivals, but of high-profile figures like Vice President Kamala Harris, pop icon Beyoncé, media mogul Oprah Winfrey, and civil rights activist Al Sharpton. Trump accused them of orchestrating what he called an illegal scheme to buy and sell celebrity endorsements during the 2024 campaign, suggesting that these endorsements were not just political support, but part of a coordinated effort to sway the election. His posts, made on July 26 and 27, 2025, quickly went viral, igniting a media frenzy that dominated headlines and social feeds. Newsrooms scrambled to verify the claims while social media exploded with speculation and hot takes. Trump didn't just hint at wrongdoing, he explicitly called for the justice system to step in, framing his opponents and their celebrity supporters as criminals who should be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The allegations painted a vivid picture of a corrupt system where fame and influence are up for sale, and elections are rigged by secret backroom deals and shadowy exchanges of money and power. The immediate reaction was a whirlwind of online debate and heated arguments. Trump's supporters amplified his message, insisting he was exposing real corruption, while critics dismissed the claims as baseless and dangerous political theater. For Trump, it was a classic strategy: dominate the news cycle, put his opponents on the defensive, and shift the narrative in his favor, all while keeping the spotlight firmly on himself. As the dust settled and the headlines faded, the real question emerged: what's fact, and what's just another act in the ongoing drama of American politics? Trump's accusations came with big names and even bigger numbers. He claimed Beyoncé was paid $11 million for an endorsement and a rally appearance where she was supposedly booed off stage. Oprah, he said, received $3 million in expenses for her support. Al Sharpton, according to Trump, got $600,000 as a reward for his influence. By targeting these influential black figures, Trump questioned the authenticity of the Democratic ticket's support from the black community. His central claim, posted in all caps: "You are not allowed to pay for an endorsement. It is totally illegal to do so." He demanded prosecution for everyone involved, from campaign officials to the celebrities themselves. The legal claim became the most scrutinized part of his argument. But did the numbers and the law back him up? When you dig into the public records, a much clearer and less sensational picture emerges. The details hidden in plain sight tell a story that's very different from the headlines and rumors. Take Beyoncé, for example. The claim was that she pocketed $11 million for a single appearance. But the Federal Election Commission records show something else entirely: $165,000 paid to her company, Parkwood Entertainment. This payment covered the costs of her appearance at a Houston rally, including production, logistics, and event coordination. It wasn't a fee for a musical performance, nor was it a personal payout. It was a standard business transaction for event services. Then there's Oprah. Rumors swirled about a $3 million payment, but the actual FEC filings show her company, Harpo Productions, received $1 million. That money was for producing and hosting a live stream event in Michigan, which included technical crews, set design, and broadcast support. Again, this was a professional arrangement, not a secret endorsement deal. These types of payments are standard in the world of large-scale event production. They cover the behind-the-scenes work that makes rallies and broadcasts possible, not personal endorsements or under-the-table deals. Al Sharpton's name was also thrown into the mix, with claims of a $600,000 payout. In reality, his organization, the National Action Network, received $500,000 for organizing and hosting a campaign-sponsored interview with Kamala Harris on MSNBC. This was categorized as media outreach, a common campaign expense, not a payoff for support. In every single case, the actual figures are far lower than what was claimed. The payments are all clearly documented as campaign expenditures, with line items and descriptions available for anyone to review. The money flowed to companies for legitimate services: event production, logistics, media programming, and technical support. These are the nuts and bolts of running a modern campaign. This distinction is crucial. There's a world of difference between secret payoffs and standard, fully disclosed campaign spending. Transparency is built into the process, with every dollar tracked and reported. The FEC filings show routine costs, payments for services rendered, not evidence of a grand conspiracy or illicit activity. These are the kinds of expenses you'd expect from any major campaign operation. Trump's narrative of illegal celebrity payments simply doesn't match the facts. The numbers don't add up, and the paper trail tells a much less dramatic story. In reality, what's left after the cameras are gone is far more mundane than the explosive accusations. It's paperwork, receipts, and standard business transactions. Ultimately, this story is about transparency and accountability, not criminality or scandal. The facts are there for anyone willing to look beyond the headlines. The accused didn't stay silent. The Harris campaign clarified they pay for event costs, not endorsements, covering production, staging, and security as required by law. Oprah took to Instagram, stating she was never paid for her endorsement. The payment to Harpo Productions covered staff and production for the Michigan event. Beyoncé didn't respond directly, but her mother, Tina Knowles, publicly denied the $11 million claim. These responses formed a united front. The payments were for professional services, not personal endorsements. They pointed to public filings and industry standards to counter Trump's narrative. Their strategy countered drama with facts and transparency. The goal: defend their reputations and the integrity of their political engagement. Trump's legal claim, paying for an endorsement is totally illegal, doesn't hold up under scrutiny. In fact, the reality of campaign finance law is much more nuanced than that simple statement suggests. The law is designed to ensure transparency and accountability, not to outright ban payments for endorsements or campaign support. Campaign finance law doesn't prohibit paying for endorsements. It requires that all payments be properly disclosed. This means that if a campaign compensates someone for their support, the transaction must be reported in official filings, so the public knows who is being paid and why. The FEC's main concern is transparency: who was paid, how much, and for what purpose. This allows voters to see the financial relationships behind political endorsements and make informed decisions about the motivations of public figures. If a campaign pays a celebrity for an endorsement, it must be reported as such. The details are entered into campaign finance reports, which are then made available to the public and regulatory agencies. The real illegality is in failing to disclose or misreporting payments, not in the payment itself. Hiding these transactions or providing false information can lead to serious legal consequences, including fines and investigations. When celebrities provide services like producing events or appearing at rallies, campaigns are expected to pay fair market value. This ensures that the value of their contribution is accurately reflected and prevents hidden or excessive support. Not paying could actually violate the law by creating an illegal in-kind contribution. If a celebrity works for free, the value of their services must still be reported, or it could be considered an unreported donation. Experts agree, as long as payments are disclosed and reported accurately, they're generally legal. The system is built to promote openness, not to criminalize legitimate campaign activity. The FEC has taken no action against the Harris campaign's documented payments, indicating that the process was followed correctly and no laws were broken in this case. Trump's assertion is either a misunderstanding of how campaign finance law works, or a deliberate distortion of the law's actual requirements. The facts show that disclosure, not payment, is what the law truly demands. This isn't Trump's first time making these claims. He's repeatedly accused Democratic campaigns of paying celebrities for endorsements, recycling the same narrative with new names and numbers. The repetition is strategic. By hammering the point, he creates an echo chamber where the allegation starts to sound like fact. Each new accusation forces opponents to respond, keeping the story alive in the news cycle. It's a classic tactic: sow doubt, create suspicion, and dominate the conversation. Trump often accuses rivals of the very things he's been criticized for, muddying the waters and confusing the public. The goal isn't a legal victory, but a public relations win. This latest round is just another chapter in a long-running strategy. Trump's outrage is selective. While he demands prosecution for Harris's celebrity supporters, he's silent about his own, like Kid Rock, Jon Voight, Hulk Hogan, and Jason Aldean. No calls for investigation into whether they were compensated for their appearances. If paying for endorsements is totally illegal, shouldn't the law apply to everyone? This double standard exposes the accusations as political weapons, not genuine legal concerns. It undermines the credibility of his argument and erodes public trust in the legal system. The result, more division, more whataboutism, and less honest debate. It's a powerful, divisive strategy that deepens the political chasm. Why now? Many analysts see Trump's accusations as a strategic distraction. With renewed scrutiny on his own ties to Jeffrey Epstein, launching a headline-grabbing attack shifts the media focus. The 2024 election was one of the most expensive ever, with billions raised and spent by both sides. In this environment, accusations of financial impropriety are inevitable and weaponized. Trump's strategy: frame the debate, force opponents to respond, and control the narrative. The truth, that payments were for documented services and not illegal, gets lost in the noise. The facts: Trump's allegations aren't supported by records or law. The accused have issued firm denials. This episode is a stark reminder. In today's politics, allegations often outweigh facts. The road ahead, more of the same, where perception trumps reality, and the battle for public opinion never ends.